Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV for our ETF2L Season 38 Premiership Week 3 game between Global Clan EU and Ora Elektro. My name is Lucky, and tonight I'm joined by Wiethoofd on production, and returning from the dead, War as my co-cast. How's it going, man? He's dead. He's muted.
No, I'm here. Sorry, I have my caps lock on, and that normally means I'm muted. Hi.
So, have you been watching any Premiership this season at all, Mr. War?
I haven't watched any TF2 in about 3 seasons.
Wow, that's impressive.
I know.
How do you keep away from it? I need some, I need some tips on keeping away from TF2 so I can actually do things with my life.
I'm not gonna give you the real answer, so I'm just gonna say that I resisted the entertaining urge to watch every night, and I've now only just caved in.
Congratulations on coming back to the scene. So between these two teams, I'm going to run down the rosters real quick because we've got teams in server already. For the side of Global Clan EU, we've got Dowie, Dagger, Charlie, Mathis, Flick, and Ixie. This team has been together for an age-long by this point. And by age-long, I mean 3 seasons, and then they swap around medics, and now they've got Dowie, and doing questionable this season. Ora Elektro on the other side, we've got Eames, the man, the myth, the legend, surrounded by French people, Peepo. Amazing. Nevo, Amrock, Azunis, Rons, and Juxta. So these rosters, you know a few players. War opinions?
Can you ask me this when the game's finished?
Yeah, I can do that, yeah. We're already going live, Mr. War, if you want to take away the first mid.
Oh, do we not have a designated role? Do I have to do the play? It's only been, 2 years, and you're making me do the first mid?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I can't wait for this one to go well. So, wait, who's world-class 9? Oh, that's Azunis. So it's going to be, Ora on the left side, depending on what POV you've got. A soldier jumps in straight away, and it looks like... Who's the medic? I can't remember the name. Who's Juxta? Quick, tell me.
He's a French boy. He's called Juxta. That is
he just called Juxta? Okay, so it's not an alias. Alright, okay. Yeah. So the first mid goes to Ora Elektro's ways because Global Clan EU completely beefed it by sitting at big door all the time. And Juxta somehow managed to surf and dodge almost everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I couldn't have summed it up better myself. 85% for Juxta right now. He's going to be moving to lobby. They go for a spawn camp here, pretty much straight away, but they don't quite get it down fast enough. So we peeking that window, checking in second, getting their second cap down. Ixie's up on the NG. Looking at what they want to get set up here for the defense. It's looking pretty good already for Ora. Pretty dominant first mid. Do say so. Eames is on the main calls there. He's going to be calling out where he wants to go with the Uber. Everyone's getting buffed up in lobby, getting ready to go as they are going for this shot at Uber. They're just going to walk it in nice and deep. Good milk in here onto the sentry gun. They're going to do a decent amount of damage to it and take it out. Stickies are currently still on point. No casualties to the side of Global Clan, which is what you want to see. Charlie is bombed out the spawn door. Heavy's out on the left side. Got Pyro as well. Air blasting away all those projectiles. Ixie's going to go down eventually. Stickies are still on point. Charlie goes down as well, so 2 dead for Global Clan. Amrock's going to be on a respawner here. They've got players running in through water. Not a lot of damage being dealt here. And it's looking pretty ass for Ora Elektro right now. Dowie is very weak as well, and the spawn gets juggled here. Nevo goes for the cleanup. Can't quite find it. And they're just going to fail epically on this last one.
I just want to point out that when I was casting mid, my camera was actually locked on a dead person, so I was actually doing a kill feed cast, so that's why it was a bit garbage. I've fixed my config now, so I was actually aware of what was happening on that time, but I'm going to withhold that information.
Thank you very much for
No, their push not good, that's what happened. But come on, keep it serious. Global Clan's got Uber. It's like Dowie's just going to walk him through mid for free. That was actually pretty decent. The sack from Rons and Azunis was acceptable, but not good enough. I reckon... Okay, Juxta's going to go up top. They have Uber, so they feel like they can take a fight with 2 missing players. I don't know if Global Clan... They are going to go on it. Charlie's got big balls, so he's going to go in first. It looks like it's just going to be a sack play, but... He jumps in, launches a rocket, and just leaves. So a nice, gentlemanly good day to you, sir, and then a kind walk through the exit.
Yeah, Ora Elektro are doing the whole classic sit behind the point on second so that you can trade out your Ubers, and by that point, hopefully get your respawners, and then you just take an even fight when they're all in, and you have the high ground afterwards is kind of the play. But now we're going to see classic Gully Wash stalemate. So, Resident Sleepers, going to see what Global Clan want to do here to break this. Looks like they're heading over towards Big Door. They're going to try and send some players in through Baby Door. They're just sticking off with Dagger right now, making their way over. Ixie has now slipped in behind. Azunis is there trying to counter that one out. He is now heading up towards River, and Global Clan are going to head back through Big Door most likely. Mathe is also getting in behind now. So they are just slowly trickling their team in. Mathe is super weak there, does get killed. Ixie gets a counter kill there, so that's pretty good for them. And taking a 1v1 with Nevo does win that one out as they're flooding now through choke as the demo's distracted. Amrock now moving towards the low ground with his medic. Ixie finally getting cleaned up, but they've got the high ground now. And Juxta's getting weak, so he has to use. Doty is milking this Uber to high heaven. Doesn't even need to use it right now. We've got the bomb in from Bronze, and they do pop it out eventually, though. And this Uber is not going to achieve much other than killing him. Amrock actually managing to surf it. They're chasing in towards the lobby. They can't quite find anyone else, but they are going to get second.
Alright, so who's the favoured team between these two?
I'm going to go ahead and say Global Clan, because Ora Elektro have picked up a bunch of new players such as
Really?
Rons and Juxta who haven't played Prem yet. Yeah.
I'm sure I saw Global Clan finishing last at some point. Or is that a different team?
No, it was the same team. You are right, but they've suddenly activated.
The sacks are coming.
Decent.
Mathes almost. No, actually, I say almost. I don't think it was ever really that close. He almost got the sentry down, unintentionally.
Massive.
Okay, well, as long as I know where these gamers stand, so I'm a bit out of touch, you know. But I think, to be honest, the Ixie pretty much just saved. Well, I didn't say save. Like, completely created this push out when they were pushing through second and went up top and behind. It was a really good fight from Global Clan, but I kind of feel like they didn't need to Uber when they did. They could have probably just bubbled up a bit more, but they split too much. So this last point is going to be a traditional Garlibush snooze fest, I'm pretty sure, because... Well, actually, yeah, they have a pyro. Classic. Charlie's going to go in. Is it going to be a single sack? Oh, Ixie's actually going to go in, and he decided to run into a level 2 sentry. He does get taken down quite quickly. Charlie's gone back in again and jumped out again. So, once again, Charlie just showing how much the available space in the atmosphere actually belongs to him. Nevo's going up Riverside. Oh, this is my favourite area. Azunis goes... Oh my... Oh,
how's he?
Oh dear, he got a spicy frag and he's still alive, so he's got himself some team. He's got his team a little bit of space. He's going to go back in there, but he's only on 50 HP. He jumps again. Charlie does get the air shot, but that's expected. I would say it's more disappointing if he misses that. It was a bit of a sitter. Come on.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sitter. Basically straight up in the air. It was an easy shot to hit, but going to see what they want to do here. They got one pick, so they're going to organise what they want to do. They're sending Charlie into water. They got Mathis trying to spam the gun down for a super awkward angle. The pyro now only just reflecting off those rockets here and just going to heal it up, and Charlie dies. So probably going to see Global Clan back off here, head back out here as Azunis is making his way into lobby. Wants to go for a sack.
He's wiggled his way through, but now he's just wiggling his way out. Interestingly, that Ixie is the partner to these sacks. I see him. He's just running in through main, just for the hell of it. Although he does get quite far, so it's quite interesting. This position, the only good thing that you can really do with it, and like one of the few options that's actually reliable, is when you throw a soldier in, you get a scout to go in through main, go through secret, and try and tease the point. As Eames doesn't have anything on the point, I believe. I'm just checking it. He's got a sticky.
A singular sticky, just the one.
So that might thwart the attempt from, from that push, but I don't think it is. Oh, there's a counter, double stickies. Is Dagger an alias, or is that Dagger?
That's his actual name, yes.
Jesus Christ, I'm old. But yeah, the sticky's going on the point. Charlie is spy, so I think this, unfortunately, might actually point out the play here. This is kind of a bit too obvious. I don't know if they're wise to it. What they could do, what Global Clan need to do, they need to send a soldier sack in, maybe a double, if they want to play the point. Because that's going to just force the pyro to just sit next to the sentry and just leaves the point completely open. Charlie's now inching his way forward, although is he trying to go for a backstab and not a point play?
I think he should go for a point play. I think you are right. I don't feel like, with this pyro here, he's not even going to get close to this medic. What we're talking about, Matt is rolling in behind the point.
Oh, no.
Charlie is now decloaked and is actually getting burnt alive by the pyro, and they're just all going to feed instead. Ixie's managed to make his way into secret, though, from main, so there's a scout in, and no one has spotted him. Not a single person has seen him. And he's heading towards point now, 2 times capture, and it's done. 1-0.
Oh, well, okay then. I was going to say how they messed up that last push with the spy and the soldier, but I guess this was their grand design.
Yeah, their grand design of a last push. To be honest, well, all you need to know is with Global Clan, everyone feeds, Ixie kills everyone, and that's all it takes for you to win rounds, apparently. So Global Clan doing their patented thing, just letting Ixie carry the game from flank scout is what they need as we head into the next mid-fight here. Eames gets in nice and early, but he's found out some points for Big Door. Dowie doesn't take a single inch of damage as they bomb up into Eames' face, and Mathis just gets cleared up immediately. Charlie here on the pack also gets absolutely annihilated. They're going to be moving their scouts up, though, through this elbow area, trying to deal as much damage as they can to their enemy scouts who are currently on the beam. Flick gets isolated and killed, but they do manage to escape with Dowie out through Big Door. Dagger is just going to be on beam, and they're going to head out even Ubers.
Oh, my heart broke from that. That was the most, the saddest soldier jump on mid I've ever seen. He was literally just pinned in the corner and just made to go straight up in the air. How unfortunate. But, anyway, Ora actually had a pretty decent position on top of the point. Charlie's going to be up their riverside, up his own riverside, so I don't know if he's going to try and bomb in. He probably should. They're in a very, very dodgy position, and Global Clan have been forced early. And there was a Uber in response, but I think everyone's just going to get out because there isn't really a scout chasing. I don't know why Amarok went lower. I think they could have chased with that Uber into lobby. Rons gets taken out on the flank, actually behind, as it's Charlie is sitting in choke, so they have a pincer, but this crab only has one working claw.
Dowie just runs in through shutter, eats a ton of damage, and somehow he gets in and survives. And they do manage to crush a lot of these Aura forces here out the second point, and they're just going to get annihilated. Dowie gets killed by Juxta though, so Juxta picking it up there. This is all basically a moot point now, as they did that play. They were trying to get Dowie down, and Juxta just cleans up for his team. Well played, dude.
Is there like an auto director in TF2? Because my POV keeps on changing. I don't know how to turn it off.
Right, a beautiful little line there, line of code. Just
oh, I got it. Wait, it says it's on 0.
Oh.
Left all.
Interesting. Anyway, Azuna's bombing up onto mid right now on top of Dowie. They're just trying to sack for Dowie right now. Should in fact be a mean feat, and Rons does collect that frag, but they lose 2 for it, and they're actually just going to stay in here. Juxta's on half HP. He needs to Delta split. Eames gets rocketed to the face and dies, so they are going to be able to escape here for Ora Elektro. Eames just using his thick thighs to block the rockets.
Alright, I spent that whole time trying to find out what's in my config, but yeah, that was a really good play by that team. They did that really well, especially from let me just quickly check the kill feed. Flick got 2 frags, so good job, Flick. Flick 2 frags. Ixie's behind though, in lobby, takes out Eames, so that's no Derman on this defense. I wonder, well, they can't really exploit it because they've got a massive Uber disadvantage. I wonder though, Global Clan, Charlie is going behind, but he gets stopped by Azunis. Well, I say stopped, he's being chased by Azunis, and it's going to be a minor 1v1 on second, but nothing really to worry about. Runs jumps in, is kind of bought low. It seems a bit, I mean, a demo pick, something worth trying to make something from, but now they've still just got Charlie behind, and I kind of feel like more could have been done with this. Charlie is still behind, battling Eames, and
no, Eames, no!
And it's changed, and it's a trade. So we'll see if this time they'll do something on the downman pick.
Yeah, it slowed them down enough so that they could not lose second, because if Eames was up, I feel like they could have rolled that advantage all the way into second quite easily. But with this, they're able to keep second. They could be sending an extra sack here because of the demo man pick, but they opt not to. Charlie does get his respawner now, and they're just going to get everyone nicely healed up. They're actually going to rotate Dagger over towards Big Door, I guess expecting them to bring their players into exactly what they did to Ora Elektro in the last round.
Actually, I just realised that Global Clan is winning, so I guess they're not really obliged to work on the Derman pick. I guess this is the theme these days. There is a big door pressure coming in from Ora Elektro. Just a trade of pleasantries between the two sides. They've gone for the classic 5 people big door. This is a strat that's normally not recommended and never dies by trying to go lower. Amarok probably is going to die as well. Yep. So,
for exactly that reason, they just get bodied by a demo man in a doorway, and that's precisely what happens when you try and bring 5 players into this door. They're actually going to bomb a soldier all the way in. Charlie gets the force off onto Juxta here, and they get another soldier in to distract. So it was a nice little attempt there and force. So Juxta's now going to play passive on mid. They're just flooding their players in now on the side of Global Clan EU. They actually pick off Ron's. Got a bomb until Doey. Doey just have to use there. Got mega damaged up by a pipe or whatever the bloody hell hit him. I didn't actually see what hit him in the face. But they're going to get the second cap here. Doey down to 50 HP. Juxta's going to be sitting on the high ground though. Looks like they want to mount some kind of defense here. But looks like Amrock's now getting bombed. Juxta's still on full HP. They're actually managed to repel them quite nicely here. As Ixie comes up for the flank behind. Dagger goes down. He's too weak to fight. So they're now going to take a refight from Choke here on the side of Ora Elektro.
That was... Alright, Nevo was literally just taking a dump on them from above him. That was insane. He was just a single scout, just completely ruined that push from them. They had it in the bag, and I think he was just chipping down to like 2 players incredibly low, and I think he took out the Doorman as well. So, a big door pressure coming from Ora, and it looks like Dagger is going to die. There is Flick who wants to try and get Rons, but isn't able to do so, and Charlie also gets ticked off from, I believe, at Riverside as well, so... But, actually, no, wait, it might have been lobby because Uber has been used. They're gonna 5% away to get an Uber. They're going to hide in water. It's going to be Ixie and Doey. Doey's been forced to use the Uber as well. He's going to be able to get any frags. He gets one. There is Eames hiding in secret, but because he was putting stickies down on the point, Ixie definitely heard that. And the soldier's going to jump in as well, trying to get anything possibly at all, but isn't even able to get any damage on Doey. And now it's just going to be Ora leaving.
Yeah, unfortunate, all in all. I think that Doey got disconnected from the rest of the team on Shutter. He just walked back out through Shutter. The rest of the team got stranded on second, so he wasn't healing anyone. If he'd stayed out on second with his team, he would have got Uber, and they wouldn't have been in that scenario, but they're lucky that they were able to get as many picks as they got when they came into last. So now, only a 20 advantage for Juxta. He's probably gonna know that he has it, because Doey, like I said, disconnected. They knew that play was happening, so they were able to capitalize on it. So we're gonna see if they're actually going to be able to do anything off of it right now. They are actually angling to get in. They jump a soldier in nice and early. They've got a scout close. Big Ass cleaned up immediately. Nice direct there coming out from Hammerrock and co. And Eames getting super low once again, and they're going to be able to take second off them.
That was a pretty fat bust. That was... I have nothing more to add. That was just a fat bust, that was.
Big, busty, fat bust. Looks like we've got a defense coming out of Global Clan EU. They're only opting for a heavy flicks now up on NG. They're going to try and build a sentry gun, but this pressure from Ora, I don't know if they're going to allow them to set anything up here. They're probably going to move in towards River here and just trying to spam down on the gun.
Oh, Riverside pressure from Matters comes in, and there's going to be point play as well by Nevo, who literally almost caps it by himself. And they do get the force onto Doey as well, so Ora do have Uber advantage, but I think maybe the downside here is that they're going to lose seconds, so that point pressure... Well, I guess they get the Uber force, but they've still got a lot of work to do. And as they've given up second, this actually makes it kind of easy for Global Clan to either make them Uber before they get to second. Charlie's just about to spawn. They have Matt and Charlie probably go for a double sack if they get somebody going last now to set up, but they aren't. They still have 2 scouts. You could get a level 3 in this time.
Yeah, their hold is like a wet paper towel, and it's already broken, unfortunately. Doey's up to 70%, and they've got the Uber out, and they know they need to use it, so they're going to be heading in through Shutter Door pretty much immediately. And they milk again a nice amount, and they are able to get in nice and deep. Sticky's not currently on point, but Hammerrock knows this time he's going to be running in for Dagger, but Mathis is there to support. They do manage to get a kill on that scout. They are flooding players back down into water. Flicks just W plus M1 does kill Eames. Going to be running out here, and another disaster for Ora Elektro on this push. They're going to be unable to find anything at all as Zunis gets cleaned up as well, and the scout Nevo is just committing pretty hard here.
I absolutely hate shutter pushes if you have Uber advantage. It annoys me when people do it, and there is not enough time in the day for me to explain why, so I'll just end with this. If you have Uber advantage, go through lower main, don't go through shutter. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. This is a PSA brought to you from War & Co. We'll be with you every single week, giving you updates on how to push on Gully Wash.
I'll post it on Reddit, put it on a Life Pro Tips subreddit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, there's going to be a bit of harass on the flanks. Charlie does take out Rons, but there was actually a bit of good flank play from Zunis and Nevo, but nothing comes from it. Nevo, unfortunately, does die trying to get out of mid. So, equal Ubers, I think Ora are just going to try and possibly hold this. Are they going to get forward spawns? They aren't, so they're going to be on a 2-player disadvantage. Doey is going in and a little bit too far in. He's really trying to push his team forward, so he's going to be the first guy leading the charge. They are just harassing at the back of the point, but they aren't getting a force, and now the spawns are coming. Doey has been left in no man's land. He finally catches up with Flick, and this is the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life, and I watched my first Robin Hood play at school a few weeks ago.
Wow. That's incredible. This is what I was talking about before, by the way, where you have you hold your medic behind the point on Snake Water and you just have these even Uber situations and you try and see if your flank can come back in. If not, you just take a trade and run away. And that's exactly what they do. They take a lot of time away from them, but they just couldn't quite find the frags. They did tons of damage on Doe, like you mentioned. He was just out in no man's land doing nothing. And didn't, in fact, have to use off anything. He went down to 80 HP, could have received one pipe and had to use, but no. Just sits on the ground and tanks it for his team, and they managed to get second for it.
Yeah, I think Global Clan really just needed to Uber in onto them as soon as Doey was in like a no man's land. There was no one really with him. If you make him force, you can then just make him split between almost everyone on his team, just chase down those that aren't being Ubered, and there's just no way out of it. But the mess up from Doey seems to not have been capitalised very well by Ora Elektro, but Charlie's going to go into water, so we might see some point harassment play, or if they're really wanting that win, they might... Oh, Mathers is in on the left side. He does get taken out. And Ixie's going to play the point through main.
Ooh, the damage from Dagger as well. Charlie's going in, going for the point. Oh, unfortunately not enough damage from him to clean that one up here. It was very close. And they're not going to be able to do anything off the back of that as well. They lose 3 players, but they find 2 as well. So, look pretty good for them all in all. Flick actually trying to get into water here. It's just going to eat a buttload of damage and have to escape back out to his medic. And everyone gets their respawners, so we're going to see a bit of a reset here. The gun managed to survive through all of that. It's only level 2, but it's still a gun nonetheless.
I think Ixie just running in through main again is just something that's just going to cause too much problems. And they're actually... Global Clan are really good at sort of synchronizing their soldiers with Ixie. But at least Ixie is able to sort of like navigate and understand when there might be a bit of space for him to go into, because he just managed to get, what, 3/4 of the cap by just standing still. Just having his soldiers both feed for him, so it's a creative spark that is definitely needed on Gotta Watch Last. Ixie's gone sniper, poking Riverside, doesn't get anything.
Ooh. You gotta be careful with the 60 sniper. This man decapitates people regularly on this class, so excited to see what he can pull off here. Just getting buffed up from his medic, peeking it wide, doesn't quite find a shot. Unfortunately, Rons is there, though, to absolutely deny him, and Flip going down as well. So they managed to find 2 picks here without losing a single player. Moving their power in towards lobby here. Looks like Doey's very content on holding the high ground. This can be easily exploited if a soldier just jumps through. But it looks like they're not really going to be doing anything here on the side of Ora Elektro. Eames has called a sit here and do absolutely nothing play.
And then also feed, yeah.
Wow.
And Runs also feeds and died, so... That were, I guess maybe that was in the playbook of let's hold lobby and die at some point. So Azunis also looks like he might die. No, he does get out just in time. Ixie though is going to go for the classic. I'm going to stand on the point play, and the Uber comes through, and ooh, Charlie's still in water. They have lost 2, but now the good thing here is I think everyone in Global Clan just kind of needs to just back out Riverside as much as they can and just try and start threatening a push from River. Even though they're missing 2, their 2 scouts going to spawn in a few seconds, so they're both up now, but it's now a really good opportunity to actually kind of just pin them in on last, and they are going to go for a counter push from Ora Elektro up the Riverside. Dagger unfortunately doing no damage, even though he's in the smallest corridor in the game, and also dies as well. So a situation that should have been Poggy's turned out to be Weird Champ. Haha, there's emotes for you. Pop them in the chat, please, guys.
I've missed you.
You gotta target your audience.
Yeah. You're hitting it on the spot. I mean, we are on Twitch, so you're hitting it right in the face. Like you mentioned, Dagger just mega whipping. If he actually hit some damage, could have been insane, but not quite. Even Uber's currently seeing a stalemate in towards second. Rons goes in for a bomb. Doey doesn't use, down to 20 HP. Doesn't actually use out that Uber charge. Very uncharacteristic for our Dome man himself. He usually pops those, but Balls of Steel apparently today. 1-man advantage for the side of Global Clan EU. Gonna see what they want to do here. Looks like a typical sack from Choke. Charlie's just jumping in around the corner. Juxta gets hit in the face of the rocket, surfs all the way back to the rock, and is now stuck in a corner.
Yeah, this is well, it's still a good play from Global Clan. It's just kind of creating a lot of pressure, trying to force Aura to make a move. On Gully Wash mid, it's never really a proper advantage. If you lose one, the Uber exchanges come through, and it's in Global Clan's favour as they've had to Uber early. Dagger should just be able to hold this choke down pretty soundly. I imagine that we might see some more pressure coming in as we do have some players rotating. Big door, but Aymeric does die alone in choke as well, so that's going to put a pause on any kind of aggressive play from them.
Yeah, he just lays out those stickies and destroys them. Flick trying to run through the choke here into 2 soldiers, but the bomb comes in though, over their head. Charlie there, nearly getting the pick off there, but pick onto Rons as well. Very, very close on that one. Looks like they are just going to try and flood in towards mid here. Ian's peeking this choke very aggressively as the flank is in. Nevo does get killed there. Azuna's now in a position that he could come in, opting not to, as the rest of Global Clan going to be aggressing this choke super hard here. Doe down to half HP, needs to be careful about some stray pipes meeting him in the face, but once again we're seeing the same play from Ora Elektro. He'll be holding up top behind that point on second as Doe's bringing his heals in. Making the call that he wants to leave here, as Flick is actually maybe going to get caught here, does jump all the way back onto this choke. Azuna comes to support. Rons is too weak to fight anyone, and Ixie has made his way in behind River, so they did manage through that play to make some space for Ixie.
Alright, so I think what Ora need to be doing here is Charlie tries to go in for a bomb, but unfortunately does mess up the skip jump, which, you know, I would say isn't that embarrassing, but he's using the original, so, I mean, it is easier to do that with that gun. And Aymeric is just going to run into... Oh! A drop from Doe. Was that through drop down?
Yeah, it came through drop. No, not a single soul was watching that area. You need to be looking out for that if you're on scout class, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, you are throwing the game. Doe dropping that uber charge there. They're going to be able to get onto mid for free, and this should be a round conversion more than likely if they speed up with their timings. But we know Ora Elektro, slow like a turtle or a slug. They kind of go pretty slowly, but Ixie on the forwards here, threatening, and he gets the body shot to Juxta, so all the things I just said are in the bin.
Right, well, I didn't even see that because I don't have a bind to go to specific players. So I had to just spam mouse 1 frantically, and I went past him. It was a body shot, so I didn't miss much. Rons is probably going to die as he tries to put some pressure up Riverside. Doe does arrow him, so gives him an overdose of heroin, and that takes the job. And Juxta is going to be the only one alive. Nevu's now sniping a forward spawn as well, but changes his mind and thinks, nah, I'm not as good as Ixie, and tries to wing a jump up onto choke, but does fail it. I did see that, and now hopefully everybody at home did see as well.
I'd point out the mistakes of these players. Just what is that? What you think the Crusaders crossbow is filled with? Sorry, heroin.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, why not? Must be heroin. I don't see any other thing in the game that could have been able to fuel a player like that, but they'll bring that Uber in towards mid. They're doing a big old wraparound play through their own big door, and going in towards Eames now. Eames doing a good job of juggling the scout, but Flick here dealing with quite a lot of damage. Just get a punch to the face. Eames doing a really good job here of just fending off the scout, but Juxta gets bombed and dies anyway thanks to Ixie's flank. They are able to cap out mid, and they're able to move in towards second, but they leave Flick out to dry there. A little bit baity there. Charlie going in towards lobby, and actually kills Eames again in lobby.
Yeah, this is a bit suspect. I mean, that Uber from Global Clan was pretty terrible, but
yes,
somehow Ora just, I don't know, it's like they just weren't even aware that this was going on, and they just all get completely wiped. So it's a bit shaky, but nonetheless, you know, it's easy for me to say these things with hindsight.
With your third eye of gameplay knowledge, as they have got that uber charge for Doe now heading into the shot. They are just going to use straight away, not taking a leaf out of the wall playbook, and going to be heading into water right now. Trying to run at Eames, but Azunas is there to support, and they've not done any damage to Eames in water right now. Azunas goes super weak, but he's still full HP on Eames. Charlie going to be bombing the shot, does find Juxta. They kill off Rons as Mathis goes down as well. Charlie now just going to be on super weak HP, needs to receive an arrow, doesn't find it. Eames there, but Ixie's running in, and Ixie cleans up absolutely everyone.
Oh, wait, hold on. They had spawns in 5, I thought they might spawn in time.
Nah, don't worry, when Ixie is there, it's all over.
They might have gotten lost and just, you know, maybe just didn't make it to the last point. There's always a hope.
The hope and the dream of people respawning in time to block out that point, but 2-0 now to Global Clan. 2 minutes left on the clock, so Ora Elektro need to get their running shoes on, and Juxta's getting bombed immediately at the start of the mid, and is still alive. Eventually dies there, but Ixie and Math is going down in return. Doe's just going to escape the dagger out through the choke. They're going to sack off Flick there, and they're just going to try and chase on towards Doe, but Doe is already well out of there. It looked like this was the plan from the start. Kill Juxta, run back to last, hold last for 2 minutes.
I mean, that is a bit ballsy on sort of sending everybody. But, you know, there is the idea behind it. Everyone's going to spawn just in time for last. I really do feel like, though, how many people died on Ora then? I think it was just... Oh, it was just as their medic. So I guess they got what they wanted, so... That would have thwarted any sort of further aggression. Nevo trying to go into lower, try and get up to Dagger. It does kill him, so this is going to open up a few moves. Rons does die in the meantime, but there's 2 soldiers up, Global Clan EU on Riverside. One of them trying to go for Eames. Eames does miss with the Iron Bombi, and it's just Juxta left alive. So, again, it's a scenario which I felt like Ora were in a dominating position has just collapsed.
I'm going to ask you a question of which you have much experience. Do you think it is time to use the exclamation mark concede rule?
Oh, I would have used it at 1 minute in if I could, but yeah, I would say do it now. Save yourself some the concede feature is the best feature that TF2's had in ages.
I agree. I've been calling for it for ages. Like for 4 or 5 seasons I've been saying, where's my GG plugin? And we finally got it. Oh, the map is destroyed.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Nailing the coffin with that rocket. But they're actually going for a last push here. They bring this Uber through main. There is no setup whatsoever for the side of Ora Elektro. We've got Ron bombing to the point. Tons of damage, but they can't quite block it. It's going to be 3-0. And that's going to be GG with 40 seconds remaining on the clock. I shouldn't hope it's 40 minutes, but Global Clan EU going to be crushing the competition here.
That hurt me. No GG's runs from Dagger in chat. I don't know if there's bad blood there, but I'm certainly going to make it seem like there is bad blood there.
That's our job as casters, to over-amp the drama between players, to add some extra storyline. That's kind of what we do.
Okay, so there is no GG usage in this game. They're just going to win the mid just for... I mean, well, maybe if the game was won by mid, you know, they might have won, but unfortunately you have to capture the last point and everybody gets wiped for it, and that's it.
GG, it's over. Dowie getting 1 point in that round is all that they needed. So Global Clan EU going to be taking away 3 points already in this official. Pretty... I'd say that was really shaky, all in all. Everything looked... I'm not going to say crisp and concise. It just looked like a lot of people messing around and not a lot of very concise plays. Ora Elektro did have a few set plays that worked out pretty well, but they just beefed their last pushes, and it kind of ended up with them losing horribly. They did have a few attempts where they could have pushed last, but because they cringed, they don't come out with a win here. Unfortunate.
I don't know. I think it's Global Clan just seemed to have a bit more of an idea. I feel like a lot of time when you're playing TF2, it's kind of improvised ideas and tactics that work. And that, for example, Ixie running in on last to try and capture the point to invite pressure is something that's really, really good and just gives your team a minor advantage in situations. And I just didn't see any of that from Ora. And there were, for Ora, there was a lot of positions where I felt like they should have won scenarios and they lost them. There was so many times when Global Clan were in absolutely awful positions. They had the whole team split, but nobody really sort of used the initiative to sort of go, hey, that medic's in by himself, completely alone in no man's land. Maybe we should Uber onto him, or maybe we should just let him run around for a bit. And they let him run around for a bit. His teammates eventually went over and saw that their medic was in need of assistance, and then they managed to take a fight and turn it. I feel like there was just a lack of initiative.
I would 100% agree. All that they did that game, it shows on the logs as well, which we're about to show on the screen for you, ladies and gentlemen. But if you look over to the logs, you will see that Ron's had 26 deaths. Now, Ora Elektro, all they did, basically, in those times where, you mentioned that they could have had some, bright spark ideas, all they did was buff up Ron's instead of in solo, and then he just died, and not a lot happened, other than the time he went through drop down and dropped the medic, and Juxta got body shot and dropped his Uber as well, so it was kind of a bit cringe all around. But that's all they did. They, like you mentioned, no real creative plays. They need to come up with stuff on the fly. It's just reacting to situations as and when it happens, and they just didn't seem to have that on Ora. So coming out of this map, I feel that Ora are going to feel a little bit under the toe of this game. They could get crushed here in this next game with their low morale. We'll see what happens. But anything on the log standing out to you?
Let me just sort by damage. So that's the only thing I can really decipher and analyse.
What are these logs we have on the screen, Mr. Wiethoofd? I'll link them to chat.
But wait, are the logs I'm looking at in Mumble not the right ones?
Those the correct ones, yes.
Oh. Alright, well, at least I haven't done anything wrong.
There we go. We've got the correct ones on the stream now, ladies and gentlemen. But as you can see, Ron's with 26 deaths and Dagger with 10,000 damage.
Yeah, I kind of feel, I don't know, this kind of seems a bit of an awkward situation because Aura won all mids. There were parts where they kind of did it in some ways quite impressively. And I mean, there was even, I think it was a second mid where I just watch Matt just get pinned in the air and just stay there for about 10 seconds and just see his life slowly flash before his eyes. And they just weren't able to convert these mid fights. I feel like I think they lost their medic on mid on all of them apart from the first one. So they lost medic, they just lost Juxta on the first one, and they still weren't able to really work on anything or do anything convincingly. I don't know, it's a bit strange because if you had asked me who would win, I would say Ora Elektro would win because they would just bore their opponents to death. But maybe this high octane pressure TF2 is just too much for them.
Are you trying to say that Eames plays a resident sleeper playstyle? Because I wouldn't say you'd be wrong.
I mean, some of the most boring games I've casted and played in have involved Ora Elektro, and I don't think that's a coincidence anymore.
You feel like it's exactly... Yeah, they do, you know, they play slow and controlled. Have you seen... You must have seen the clip of Eames saying, "We're not going to mid."
I mean, they're one of the few teams that I've seen lose, but then turtle on the opponent's last to just sort of, I don't know, do nothing. I've literally seen them lose like a 2-1 scoreline. They're on their opponent's last on process, and they just did nothing for 15 minutes. I've never seen that in a team before.
That's incredible.
You know, it's just... Anyway, enough poop talking. I'm a changed man now. I'm someone that is only filled with love and kindness.
Is that what you made of? Now that you've uninstalled Dota 2, you can be pure again.
Yeah, well, I was still all loved up and kind when I was playing it. It's just... I just felt like they didn't deserve it.
That's fair enough. But yeah, welcome back to the scene. Coming into the next map, though, we have got products, so a bit of an exciting one here. We're going to see some sniper action, most likely. Ixie is a very, very talented sniper. So after watching that first game and watching the deathmatch capabilities of both teams, you got any predictioninos?
To be honest, whenever someone runs a sniper, I just don't know. Because it's either that sniper's going to hit everything or he's going to hit nothing. And there's just like no way of really gauging whether or not it's going to pop off this game. So I was going to say I want Aura to win because then it will go to a third map. But then I realised that this is ETF2L and they don't do 3 maps. That's how out of touch. And I think the last time I casted TF2 was a best of 3. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Aura are going to win this one.
You reckon Aura are going to win? I have no hope of Ora Elektro winning this game
that is
whatsoever.
Purely based on the fact that I looked at my phone and did a coin toss and nothing else.
Wow, that's... Well, I can get behind that. To be honest, if I was going to look at this game logically, I would just say that I've seen Mathis play some product, and this boy slips in behind at every opportunity they allow it, and he's just so good at getting in behind. And also, Ixie just, when he's not on sniper, he's murdering everyone on scout, so I'd be terrified. But on the opposing side, we've got plus sides for Ora Elektro is that, you know, Ron's has come into Premiership and been incredibly good on soldiers, so I'm looking forward to see what he does with the bombs.
My analysis brain says that Global Clan are going to win it because of Matt and Charlie.
Nice.
However, the coin toss doesn't lie, so Ora Elektro are going to win.
Yeah, you gotta believe in the coin toss. Heading into our first minute, Dagger's already made his way there. Everyone's getting buffed up earlier as Azunas just goes in behind straight away. He's already in behind on top of Doey and whiffs every rocket in the spellbook. And Flick and Ixie have gone in front here and perished also. Doey eventually going down here, so a very good collapse from Ora Elektro. Bombs in towards Juxta. Juxta is on the wrong side of the point, I'm afraid, and actually manages to survive there on very low HP. And Azunas down to 1 HP. He's going to require a few arrows, but they do manage to win this first minute.
Alright, that was actually looking really good for Global Clan on the account that they sent 2 soldiers in at the start instead of the 1 from Aura. And despite obviously Azunas missing, they were still able to do enough and actually win that. And they also kept their medic alive, so it's going to be very, very hard from Global Clan. I expect we're just going to see a force. Here we go, double sticky jump coming in. Dagger gets completely rinsed right at the start. Charlie goes in as well, but I don't think he's got... Ooh. Oh, Ixie at the end there does sort of pose enough of a threat to make Juxta Uber, and they are going to go for the forward hold.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was a decent enough use there from Juxta, because we know Ixie lands those. I mean, it's 60 HP between him and Oblivion, so pretty decent use there, I'd say. They've got Pyro on this right-hand side here, just trying to air blast some projectiles away. The soldier bombs in over the top here. They're dealing a small amount of damage to the soldier over the top once again. Charlie manages to wriggle his way in here. They do find Mathez, though, on the side of Aura, but Aura just going to retreat back to the point. Doey now has a Zuba, but it's getting bombed here, and it's going to have to use against the fence, and it's looking terrible.
Yeah, Charlie was incredibly low during that as well, was just spamming the E button for an arrow whilst his medic was obviously clearly not in a position to arrow him, so that's not very kind of him. I mean, there's no need to fill up comms that way. And it's going to be Aura that's just going to be sitting on their cliff, just buffing everybody. They're going to have Uber very, very shortly. They're on 90%, and this is probably going to be a relatively free take. The only thing that I feel like could go wrong is if there's a fat drop. No. And
there are stickies on the sign. Oh, they're dead. Never mind.
Everything's fine. Azunas does get brought down low instead of having to go away, and they're just going to tease the point, probably take this for free. There is an arrow on the point to try and get one of the players back up. Juxta is on 60 HP, so they've just been... I mean, it's just like an exchange of the point. But like in this situation with the medic move speed, it kind of changes how Viaduct works. You can hang around with your medic for quite a bit as long as you can just run away. And it's going to be an early Uber from Global Clan this time. They're going to Uber straight onto Ora Elektro. They're going to give Charlie a bit of it so he can go behind us, collect runs straight away. So there's going to be a player advantage going to them. The pressure's going to come forward as Matha goes to the flank. Charlie, unfortunately, does get headshot rocketed in the air, so he does die to full damage. And it's going to be Matters versus Never on the flank as well, but Never does escape, and Ixie takes a rocket to the face as well, so it's going to be a point exchange.
Again, another point exchange here. We are seeing players just come forwards, toing and throwing their ammo, catches the pipe to the face, doesn't need to get healed back up by Juxta. They're actually going to head straight into try and cut the spot. Oh my good lord, Eames just walks forward, Sticky Six on the flank, and they've done so much damage here, just pinning them around that corner as the soldiers come in behind. Massive damage on the point. They do find Juxta there. Holy moly,
that's
the
garbage.
soldiers.
He would be fuming. Matt launched him, was able to fire 3, I believe it was 3 rockets onto the medic before he actually gets killed, and was able to do so anyway. So that's really, really bad from Aura, whoever's had to shoot that soldier. Like, he should not have been able to get 3 rockets off. That is just appalling. Anyway, Ron tries to go in for the force, gets airshotted by Charlie and trying to do so. Dagger does get taken out as well, so they've only lost a down man in this. Flick is just going to start pressuring the point. This should be a leave, although I believe that Stickies and some pipes have made Global Clan Uber a little bit earlier. Charlie's stuck in the house, or he's just going to rocket jump away. Doey could possibly get caught here if he gets hit with a pipe, and he does. Oh, he does, and with some Stickies as well. And Never is also there to help clean up as well. So, really, really good counter play from Aura, and a bit of a beef from Global Clan because they don't even capture the point, although it might work in their favour because they get faster spawns.
Yeah, I mean, not capping that was a pretty good idea all in all. I was just going to say that they haven't capped it out and this clock is going to tick down, but it wouldn't have mattered regardless. They would have got the recap through. So Azuna's going to be bombing around this corner on towards Ixie. Dagger's also going to be jumping in, actually, just removing his own heals. Instantly walking forwards. Juxta actually uses the Uber on the point on his own. So Juxta's in a terrible position here. Does flash that scout to keep him alive, however, and we've got Mathes currently on the cliff. Mathes with some nice directs to keep this scout from attacking him. Ron's now just going to edge this point. It's just Ixie trying to get as much cap time as he can as the clock is going to drill all the way down. Dagger's going to be desperately respawning, trying to bomb in towards the point here, going up high, needs to do a lot of work here to make it happen. It can't do it, and it's going to be a first round to Ora Elektro.
Do you want to know a fun fact, right?
Yes.
You can use the concede function at any time on Viaduct.
Really?
Yeah, so if you really
Wow.
want to give yourself a disadvantage, it doesn't even work properly. If you use concede, it just takes off a round from your team. So if you really want to have some fun and play like a 9-round viaduct, you know what to do.
Then you can
Alright,
do that.
AC, I believe... Oh, sorry, I thought it was sniping because Soldier just bombed on the catwalk straight away, but he was just bombing the scout, which doesn't normally work out that well. Doey, ooh, just captures the last rocket, but is able to surf out. Charlie does knock up Juxta in yet, and is able to connect from the second rocket as well. Ooh, and Mathis comes in with a fat rocket onto Eames. It's going to be Nevo, who is stuck in a house with Amrock as well, just hiding underneath underneath the cliff, and he does get taken out as well. So a fat play from Global Clan.
Mathis basically carrying that one. Massive behind plays here, and now they've got massive Uber advantage. So it's going to be Ora Elektro probably going for a stack wave here, trying to get that Uber out of Doey. What are your favourite holds here for the stack waves?
I actually don't have enough time to tell you because they're going already. Eames is just going in high. Doey does actually have to Uber, both soldiers coming in as well. I honestly think that they should go back to Old Faithful, which is you hide the medic in the house.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. It's what I do, medic main, you know, sitting in house is the best thing. You can walk out through so many doors, juke corners, have a demo sticky one of the doors, so if they land in front of the doorway, then they just get down and die. That's one player already dealt with, so
the counter to that is you have to hide in there. You can't actually be known that you're in there, because if you do get caught in there and they see you there, there's nowhere for you to surf to get out.
Exactly.
So it's a problem, but I feel like it can work as a bit of a surprise tactic to just hide your medic in the house, like the good old days, to see if anyone's wise to it. No one can remember most of the time with all these people. You know, they're all too young to actually see medics hiding, and there's going to be an Uber coming out from Ora Elektro. They're only able to get Charlie. They're not... Actually, no, they're going to be able to get the point, but they're just going to get Charlie back up and respawned in 4 seconds instead of 10, so maybe that wasn't the... No, it would have been a good idea. The Uber comes out from Global Clan. Juxta gets launched and is actually chased down. Eames with a good Iron Bomby pipe onto Ixie, and it's going to be Doey going down, Flick goes down, and it looks like it's just going to be a clean-up.
Yeah, Dagger here going to be taking one going with Eames on grass, and he doesn't get the pack unfortunately, and does die there to Nevo. It's cleaned up there, but Doey respawns first. Only 2 seconds left for Juxta to respawn though, so not going to be much Uber advantage here, as we have got Ora Elektro currently with the point cap, and they're going to be heading in. Looks like they do want to contest this pretty early on. Stickies are currently on the side. Ixie's going to be edging the cap here. Going to just be spamming each other here. No one wants to get this retake through. Ixie now super weak here, and that is opening up opportunities here for the bombs to come through. From the side of Ora Elektro here, and Charlie going to get pushed all the way back off this point. Eames goes down. Juxta also gets bombed and dies. Amrock goes down as well. It's looking absolutely disastrous for the side of Ora Elektro. Ron's getting pushed back off the cliff. Dagger is actually on the chase, and they are going to cap out this point immediately. They don't need to delay whatsoever, but Ron's gets immediately denied and crushed. Mathis hitting the taunt key.
Oh god. Ora actually did okay at the start. They acted on damage really well. However, when you go aggressive to act on damage on a scout, it doesn't really, you're going on scout damage. Like, you're bombing both soldiers to kill a scout. It doesn't really go that well. But they Ora do get an Uber from Global Clan EU, and Global Clan are actually just forced to leave, so they aren't actually even going to get anything for it. Charlie has been popped up in the air, a bit of surf, he's going to keep himself alive, but it does finally fall. Matters tries to get a trade onto runs, but he also dies as well, so there's going to be no more pressure coming in from Global Clan, as it should be a free point for Ora Elektro unless there's going to be some aggressive plays. Ixie tries to go for a Hail Mary play, but it's unfortunately completely wiped out by the scout combo, and the point has now once again traded sides. We haven't seen any snipers.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't seen this.
Oh my goodness, he hit it. Ooh.
That's a crispy rocket onto him. Amrock as well, super weak here. They're going to need to jump back to the point. They need arrows desperately here on the side of Ora Elektro. They do have this Uber advantage to play with, but Doey's already up to 80%, so they could use an aggressive Uber here and just go in, but Juxta went all the way back to Cliff, and as a result, they're dropping all their team. They do need to use it in this corner, though, but they've already lost Eames, so this is going to be terrible for chasing anyone.
Doey's been bombed on, and that has completely ruined it. Azunis with a very, very, very well-timed bomb, just jumping in when they were just about to leave, and just hit 2 class rockets onto Doey, and that plan has been destroyed. So, I mean, the time's still in Global Clan's favour, but I feel like they just need to play point and just go for an absolutely proper balls to the walls play, but what keeps on happening is that they get the balls in their face instead of putting their balls in their opponent's face. But now they're actually doing it. They're now sort of getting their trousers and pants down. They're giving a bit of a teabag. Juxta does go down quite low. Charlie's trying to get onto him, but Eames does finish him off. So Juxta getting alive is important. They are still going to have a very minor Uber advantage. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to sort of like just go in for to try and drop Doey, but regardless, it's still actually going to keep them in this round. If they had gotten Juxta, I think that might have been it.
Yeah, I mean, the soldiers on the respawner right now, they're going to be heading in, but no heals out for those soldiers, so these soldiers aren't going to be buffered as this Uber is coming in here. One's going in deep onto Doey. Doey only just uses now, though, so this Uber is going to be super long. But Solid Global Clan, they're going to kill Juxta off the back of it, and it looks like there wasn't enough cap time now to get the capture through, so Dagger's taking the one with Amarok, though. He's on the beam, they're forcing them all away from this point. 9 seconds remaining on this clock until the point goes through. Amarok here is going to take down Dagger, but it's all for nothing as the respawners aren't there in time. For the side of Ora Elektro, then desperately scrambling with the cap time that they have to get to this point. Azunis has come from main. He's going to be bombing over towards the point. Bronze is there. Doesn't quite land on the point now, unfortunately. Azunis can bombing in. He doesn't do it. One rocket from Mathis. Cleans both of them up. It's going to be one rocket.
That is pretty much the exact opposite of, well, sorry, the exact same thing that happened to Global Clan the round before, where they try and go over the point, they almost cap it, they aren't able to get the frags, and they kind of like have to just do like a last Hail Mary run for the point and just die and feed for the logs. But yeah, it's everything's to play for.
Yeah, still got things to play for. It's only 1-1 on the scoreline here. Charlie's going to be bombing over nice and early with Mathis. Gets some pressure down to Eames. Both of them focusing him down. He goes down immediately. The soldiers on the other side, though. Ron's on top of Doey. Doey with a circle to click. Gets cleaned up eventually, though, by Nevo. So medics are down for both sides. We're just going to see a DM fight between everyone here. Nevo's up on the right-hand side versus Ixie, as we do see Azunis going in towards Cliff with Ron's. And Ron's gets air shot by everyone, it looked like. And Ixie also getting killed in the process. The one comes through from Azunis. Does land a rocket into Dagger's face. And Dagger's going to try and retreat here. But Nevo is going to be able to pin him down. But Dagger there does manage to... Oh, never mind. He slugs him with a sticky bomb. And Charlie gets 2 rockets into Nevo's face. So these players are trading to and fro. The Ubers are relatively even as both medics have now respawned and met their teams back. Eventually, a camp is about to go through for the side of Global Clan.
It's incredibly close. Charlie's going to bomb in for Juxta as well, and Matt goes in at the same time, so they both double sync rocket onto Juxta and just absolutely wipe him at the start. And I feel like when I said that those two would be the deciding factor, it turns out I was right. Unless everybody already knew that already themselves, in that case, you know, I haven't watched Tier 2 in 3 years, so I've got an excuse. Oh, Doey dies to sticky. I believe they're literally just underneath Cliff as well, so that's the most...
They were just on point in a really obvious position as well, yeah. Just no one cleared them, no one did anything to stop those stickies. Doey didn't even look himself, and it looks like Juxta's actually going to get caught in the corner here. He's too weak. Never mind, the rocket from Azunis to clean up the
Doey's
Devil
alive.
Man.
You can follow up on this. Oh, he's hiding in spawn. Never mind.
What a pussy.
You got to go for those.
You're talking about balls in face. I feel like Doey needs to engage with that philosophy.
Yeah, but I can understand his reluctance.
Yeah, to going for that play. Azunis is just poking up on the right-hand side, going to see what he can find, and does decide to back up to the rest of this team. They're just getting buffed up here. Juxta up to 95%, so it is likely we're going to see a global Plan EU sack wave. Juxta's opting to hold out in the open, and he's just going to have to use straight away. Not looking like absolutely no resistance having to use that overcharge whatsoever.
I feel, and I did say it before, their success on these sacks are actually pretty decent from Global Clan, but I kind of feel like Aura could definitely hold a bit further back.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like these aren't being kind of... oh, are they going to go for the American bust? But they've not really done it that well because it's meant to be a scout that dies at the start, and Doey dies as well. That's a shame. Alright, everyone, if you're going to do the bust, you send a scout in first to die to the stickies, and then you send a soldier in. You don't send the soldier in first.
100% agree with that. There is no way on earth that they do it that way. And then Doey is supposed to not go in until he has it, or is 100% safe. He's supposed to bait in the corner, but he didn't do that whatsoever and died as a result. So now we're just seeing exactly the same thing. Another sack wave though in towards Juxta, but Juxta playing behind house this time. But Global Clan have done a really good job of corralling their players around this point as the overcharge now gets popped out. They could catch onto Doey here. Doey is half HP in house, and they are going to be bombing for Eames though. S-key, so he doesn't get air shot by Charlie. Doey does manage to survive. They managed to kill 2 players on the side of Global Clan, get their capture back, and now they're just going to sit back with Doey on 70%.
Sorry, my millionaire shortbread fell down off my desk, so I couldn't look.
Yeah, you've got to go grab that one off the floor. You can take the time to go
It's
get
in
it.
a packet, so... You know,
Oh, it's safe. It's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say that, was it the 3-second rule, whatever?
Well, it's just the fact that it was on the floor. Dowie does survive somehow, which is a miracle because, like, almost all of his team seem to have died in every kind of area on the map. So I'm not quite sure why he wasn't picked up on by Ora Elektro. But anyway, they do have a full Uber ad. Juxta just respawned. There's very little pressure. There are stickies on the fence again. Let's see if it catches anybody out.
Oh, Ixie's running around. They actually killed him this time. Very nice. They've responded to what happened before. The soldiers going to be bombing in here. Lots of pressure, and they don't get this cap through. There is massive resistance from the side of Ora Elektro, but Juxta is up pretty far here. If there was an Uber charge to come out, he could get caught. Dagger getting mega damage. They did find Bronze eventually, so that's one pick that they've managed to get here. Finally edging this cap. Dagger's up all the way on the left-hand side, so he's going to be pressuring super hard here as the capture goes through. 26 seconds remaining for the side of Ora Elektro here. Juxta's up to 70% Uber charges as well.
Alright,
getting ready.
this is poopy from Global Clan. They should have been tracking the Ubers, so they must know that they have advantage and they know the location of Ora. You're this far behind. The only way that you can really sort of turn this game around is by just going balls deep or killing teams at the start of a push. So they've done the second part, so never mind. But I feel like if you've got this much of a, or you had that much of an advantage, like 30 to 40%, and you knew where they were and you are quite far behind on the clock, you should just go for it, because the only thing that's going to happen is that you completely wipe the enemies and you just buy yourself a ridiculous amount of time anyway. And they kind of just sort of sat on their hands a bit and didn't do anything. They're kind of just giving Ora another sort of attempt, and they are, so the Ubers are going to exchange. Azunus is just going to go straight behind. Was that Rons? That is Rons. So they've got a player behind. Amrock. Ooh, Juxta almost gets caught, but Rons does get caught out on the side. Oh dear, and Dowie. Woo! Was that a splash plug, or did that rocket hit? I think that rocket hit. So Dowie went down to about 10 HP, and it's just Eames left alive.
Juxta, no. That is. Oh, I don't think you saw
Oh,
it.
he got a roller.
Yeah, there was. He just got Iron Bomby, basically.
No.
Like, that's the weapon in the nutshell.
This is why you ban the Iron Bomby.
Yeah, get that weapon out of my game already. But it looks like they're going to have to go for some Hail Mary attempts to get on this point here as a Global Clan. By the time this clock ticks all the way down...
no.
Oh, Juxta's dead again. Never mind. They're going to be unable to get any amount of movement charge here, and they're just sacking their entire team for it, heading in here. Looks like Global Clan are going to hold... Dowie's gets cleaned up, though. On the wall, that's exactly what they need on the side of Ora Elektro. They need their respawners in the next couple seconds.
Well,
yeah, they're going to get it.
I don't... Amrock is literally just going to have to run onto the point. If he doesn't, then it's over.
Here he goes. He's running in. He's got Juxta attack.
Just kill one.
So that does help. Oh, no. Unfortunate there for the side of Ora Elektro. It was close. 2-1 currently. So Global Clan EU now on the match point. Looking a little bit shaky. That's not exactly convincing in this game. It is a super close match. I'm expecting it to go another round here, War.
I just want to point out that this game's a lot more fun when people don't run Sniper, so if you run Sniper on product, you are killing TF2. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been your PSA from War. He will be posting life hacks every single day on Reddit. So Dagger here making his way towards mid as well. They're sticking off that rock, and they are just rolling in towards Dowie. They absolutely destroy him into the floor there. So that medic pick been found nice early, but Juxta has decided he's going to key all the way across the point. Has only just survived here. The bullets are coming ready. Dagger's bombing. Solly's on his face. He's juking. He's diving, and he's dead.
Holy shit. I've never... That's like watching Rayman. I've never seen someone just sort of like dance around and pirouette, just dodge everything.
Like that. He did a very, very nice attempt at dodging all of those
He's
players.
a bit shit though, to be honest. He couldn't dodge the 5th player. Bloody hell.
They're trying to retake this point at the Global Clan. The bombs are coming in there. Massive damage from these soldiers. Charlie gets crated. Ixie goes down as well. Flicker's caught in. And they just crushed them on the side of Ora Elektro with the rear growth there. Dowie actually has the advantage, but it doesn't matter when your entire team is deceased.
It's actually a bit of initiative that Ora are finally using, just sort of going across the point and crunching. It's like they've identified bad position from Global Clan. Let's go kill. And even without killing Doey, it's going to be really hard for Global Clan to retake this. Because Juxta's 15% away, this is going to be a really awkward position. Dagger is almost dead, so they're going to have no Dareman follow-up. If Juxta can stay alive, and Charlie with the direct at the end is actually able to drop him. I wouldn't really count that as a drop because he literally just got the Uber, but it still hurts either way.
Doey's actually down to 35 health as well, going to be trying to fight up against Amarok here, but Amarok's actually winning it against Ixie, even though he's on the beam here. Flick's trying to run in to get the cleanup, but the bomb comes in from Azunis just to defend his player there, and he does jump all the way out towards his pack. Doey did manage to survive, only just though after getting his Uber forced out of him, and 20% advantage for him now on this refight that's going to happen, but Charlie immediately taken towards China here, going to be bombing all the way back around towards the point, and dies to a sticky bomb from Eames, unfortunately, and there's the one-player advantage inside of Ora.
I mean, despite the fact that Juxta's caught every rocket roller in existence, his team's still winning and like sort of winning and leading this round, which is quite impressive. So it doesn't sort of really matter what Charlie did, because his team kind of still messed up regardless. Now they've only got 24 seconds. Sorry, yeah, on 26 seconds on that, so that wasn't exactly the most time that they could have gotten. Global Clan have been forced really early as well, and it looks like they're going to get nothing for it apart from Eames, who's going to get fast forward anyway. Both of the soldiers come in and do a lot of work and try to clean up. Rons is able to help take out Flick, and it's going to be Juxta once again in a corner. And Charlie... No, sorry, it's Mathers. Charlie died at the start, and it's going to be Mathers who's just going to be left alive. And he's doing a lot of work. He's buying a lot of time. He's bought his team more time on the clock, and he does finally get brought down.
Yeah, he actually picks off Amarok there as he goes down, so they might have to delay here, but Juxta 300 HP by Charlie and Chak as he picked up a pack and then surfed away, somehow managing to survive all of that. But Doey here, 70% going to be holding on Cliff with the rest of his team, looking like they're going to try and make something happen here. Some kind of sack wave. Charlie going in first in towards Juxta, and like we mentioned before, he's sitting in a very poor position just as he used out that Ubercharge, stuck in a corner as the pipes came raining down on his forehead, and Eames is going to be rolling up towards Cliff. Looks like they're going to opt for some kind of forward hold straight away, but Doey up to 100% Uber.
I think this is like the only important part. However, oh my goodness, Doey. Oh my goodness, they're still bringing it away. Okay, this is shaky. This is really shaky. Nevo is somehow going to keep himself alive for a long time as well, but Doey just sort of running out in the middle of everywhere. It's the sketchiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he doesn't do this thing that we like to call baiting and waiting for the team to say it's okay to come in. He doesn't do that.
Oh my god. Doey
I know he's dead.
Dodged so much though. That was that could have been really, really bad for Ora Elektro. And it ended up being really bad for Ora Elektro because they lost everyone and just managed to get the medic. But it was one of those occasions where the person you're shooting is dodging someone else and not your rockets, so you can't hit them. But they finally managed to after about 6 between them.
Oh, Mathis gets cleaned up there on the right-hand side by the scattergun of Nevo, so that's one pick in their favour now. Coming in towards this point, it's relatively even Ubers because Doey and Juxta did go down relatively at the same time, so they're going to be coming in towards this point. 22 seconds remaining for Ora Elektro, so if they get this cap through now, it's going to be pretty good for them. Flick is too weak to rejoin the fight here, so it's just Dagger fending off this point all on his own as the cap goes through, and now Global Clan, you're in the hot seat here. To try and retake this point, they need to do something special to take it back off them.
Alright, I think, Charlie just gets absolutely disintegrated. Mather comes in as well, and Juxta once again is able to surf and survive. Man,
yes.
How long has Juxta been in Prem? Is it this is his first season?
This is his first season of Prem.
What division was he in before this?
I think 2.
I don't know. I'm just discussing.
I'm not sure though. Don't quite.
What's his nationality?
French.
Unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, he's been really, really impressive. His juking, his surfing has been really, really top notch, and has like kept him and his team alive and in it for as long as possible. Azunis goes in and around onto Catwalk. He's going to jump in straight away, trying to find Doey. Gets 1 rocket, 2 rocket, takes him out almost immediately, and does finally get taken out by Flick as well. Matt, though, on the flank is going to try and do the same thing to Juxta, but Juxta is able to get out. He does not have as many numbers on his team, so Global Clan are going to start pushing a little bit forward. Well, they did with just Charlie to try and get something. The only thing they are rewarded for is that they get the mid. They're delaying the cap for Charlie to spawn, although I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen on the first round unless that's changed recently, so you don't have to delay the spawn on the first cap. Maybe someone can correct me on that.
Yeah, on the first cap it doesn't matter. You are correct. On the rest of them it's fine. But looks like Eames is going to be heading in here. They want to pop out the supercharge in towards Dowie. Dowie is super far forwards here. Is going to get mega damage down to like 1 HP as the Amro comes in for the cleanup. Doesn't find the rest of it, however, and Dowie's running back to spawn, so no heals for the Solid Global Clan currently. And Mathis goes down as a result of not being able to receive an arrow. Dowie doesn't even go back to the spawn. He just runs back into his spawn and is now half HP and is now eating all of the damage in the universe and dies for it. So Dowie not going back to the cabinet, baiting his entire team and then feeding.
Yeah, that's to be honest, he just needs to leave, and his whole team kind of needed to leave because the reason why he died there is because he didn't leave. He just caught 2 sort of mid-range rockets, and that's it. He's dead. If he had actually gone back to the cabinet, got full healed, and then back in, he would have survived, gotten the pack on cliff, and then who knows what was saying. But a bit of indecisiveness there, and it looks like Global Clan are just going to have to be forced to do something. I don't know if they want to go for an aggressive play and might as well just do it now. They know where Just's position is. I feel like they should, considering it's been quite successful when they have been doing this, but they're just playing point. Flick gets taken out, Ixie gets taken out, and the Uber has been forced from Ora Elektro. This is what I prefer. A heavy amount of aggression this time. And it's going to be Dowie in a really bad spot, and does get taken out after sitting on the logs. Well, actually, no, they're not logs. They're like stacks of planks.
Stacks of planks, yeah. Fencing. I'm going to call it fencing, even though it's not a pre-built
Remember
fence.
planking? Remember that?
Oh
fad?
man, we're having a conversation about old memes that we're glad have died, such as the milk challenge and stuff like that.
Did you ever lie down on something and be
No.
flat?
I did not, but I saw a lot of people doing it at I-63 and it made me want to die. So the rest of this game, however, is still going on. As Zunis is bombing onto his Dowie. Dowie nearly dies again. But the rest of Ora Elektro have decided that they don't want to live anymore. And Eames is currently dead with Zunis and Nevo. Ron's is going to be escaping on 13 HP, and Global Clan are going to be able to reclaim this point once their spawn has come through.
Have we seen a forward hold from Global Clan? I don't think we have we?
They tried twice and failed twice.
I can see why they don't want to try anymore. Amarok almost gets taken out by Charlie on the cliff. Charlie's just been forced back. There is an advantage. Actually, sorry, no, they're not an advantage. I was wondering why that Uber was going down so quickly. The Uber is popped by Aura, and it was popped by a strong wind. But for some reason, they use it really early. Now it's going to be a counter used by Global Clan, who are going to try and get into the cliff of the enemies. But there's a bit of a pause champ here, as they don't carry on, and I have no idea why. This is really bad. Charlie's going to jump high, and Mathis is going to go in as well. They both try and do something here, but there's no support. And I think, no, they're not even going to lose Azunis. And are they going to lose?
No.
They are going to lose Dowie with the Eames coming up and following up in the Stiggies. Okay, there's so many things that went wrong. But
alright, explaining the things that went wrong right there. Dagger fired every single projectile he had at that corner, didn't reload a single thing, walked back to Rock, and Dowie followed him, and so did the scouts.
The thing is,
and the soldiers went in.
It went even worse because as soon as they had them pinned on the cliff, they should have committed. Like, there's no reason why you don't commit there. All they were able to do when they went back and sent 2 soldiers in alone, they're just able to give Ora Elektro heals again and just get them back up to buffs, and that is not good. That was really, really poorly played, and really well played from Aura, because they did what Global Clan should have done. They had the Uber, they used the Uber, they went in, and they're going to get this a good rocket from Charlie. Is able to help Flick get the frag on that, so they actually are defending this a bit. So Aura, again, I feel like have maybe overextended a bit too much. Charlie's going to try and go in. He's possibly going to get out on just 1 HP. I'm sure if he could go to 0.5 HP, Charlie would have been on it.
I'm confused. Ora Elektro had a 30% Uber advantage and just opts not to kill Dowie with it. But Dowie does actually get his Uber now and immediately uses. And now Ora Elektro are going to counter-pop directly into their faces here. Dagger's just going to jump away. And as a result, they have to concede this point here. Ron's going to be jumping in aggressively to try and clean up Dowie on the back foot. Dowie actually tanks the rocket as well here, but they clean up Eames with a nice sticky bomb here. Both scouts are now attached to the beam on the side of Ora Elektro, but the retake is coming from the side of Global Clan. All the players are weak on the point. Amarok here trying to desperately defend it, but eventually is going to get cleaned up here in-house by this. Who's actually picks up Ixie there. So he manages to get a frag. Charlie gets Charlie, goodbye, sir.
Oh, he dies. Oh, God. Well, that was a spicy one, that was. Okay, that Uber from Dowie was actually pretty good, and I think it might win them the game. If it does, I'll explain why.
Okay, thank you very much. But it looks like Global Clan here are just going to be backing off away from the point. Ora Elektro now are able to make a retake happen. 10 seconds remaining for the side of Global Clan EU. 40 seconds remaining for the side of Ora Elektro. So it's coming down to the wire here. They've even got Scout building on the side of Global Clan. Not something you see very often as everyone's eating damage on product, but now they're aggressing forwards on this point here. 30 seconds remaining. Dowie has to use up the overcharge. Juxter is nowhere near here. And eventually gets it in the corner. Does pop it out here. Saves his remaining teammates. And Dagger currently dead on the side of Global Clan. It's going to be a massive disadvantage for them. But it looks like Mathis in from behind onto Azunis. Good damage. Can't quite find it. Charlie coming in as well. Needs to jump back towards the rock. 12 seconds left on the clock here. Ixie 2 wickets corner needs an arrow. Dowie's going to be moving back in on half HP. They need to get cap time down now. Otherwise, it's going to be unable to retake the point. Dagger's on the respawner, so he is here now. Looks like they are going to be able to reclaim this one. They're moving forwards all at the same time. So much damage down the point to every single player. But Global Clan have the numbers. And they're managing to hold it here. And Juxter here moving in with the Solemn Bound man moving it, and unfortunately they don't quite do it. Global Clan going to take it away.
They play that so well. That was so good. That was very, very, very well played. And Dowie almost died. I think he went down to about 38 HP. Managed to play and squeeze into house and just be able to get away. And because he was able to stay alive, he was able to sort of heal his team up again and just sort of like re-engage. Okay, back to the part where I said Dowie had won the game. When it was that weird Uber change where it looked like he just Ubered really, really early. That's probably like the best case scenario that could have happened, because if he tried to milk it and let's say he Ubers on like maybe what 20 HP, 30 HP, or waits until one of his teammates gets low enough, they wouldn't be able to even contest like a refight in some cases. So being able to like just Uber at the start was probably the best play that could have happened, because both of every one of his team members were still pretty healthy. So when the Ubers had exchanged, they still had enough HP to keep fighting and keep battling. I feel like if Dowie had just kind of milked it, it might have just changed things a bit, because he might have been too low to really sort of be aggressive with his team, or it might have been a case of his Dareman might have been too low to sort of really stay aggressive with his team as well. So Ubering to keep everybody healthy was a very good move there. I'm sure he meant it intentionally, and I'm sure that if he ever listens to this, he'll just be saying, yes, I completely meant everything that I did in this game.
Yeah, I feel like you made a massive point there. I didn't even read it that way, so I've learned something, and I hope you have too in the chat, as we've actually got some logs to stare at. Seems to be very atypical logs for product. A lot of damage, a lot of kills, a lot of deaths on everyone, but Amarok got 33 kills and 10k damage on the Pocket Scout, and Eames dropped a 12k bomb, so significantly out-damaging the side of Global Clan, but not able to capitalize too much.
I think it's just kind of, I think I said it like maybe halfway through that Aura were playing a lot of fights really, really well as a team. And it was pretty much just based off Eames doing like a really good amount of damage, especially in post-Uber fights. He was staying alive. He was able to catch a lot of players that were retreating. But Charlie and Matt were a very, very, very good soldier duo. There was a few wonky parts where they kind of pushed into Aura's cliff, like after they had all just got buffed up again, and when their team had just given up a really good position. But apart from that, their bombs are really good, their refights are really good. They took a lot of damage, but they were able to sort of like recycle the heals between each other really well, and they just played together very well across the whole map. And I kind of feel like Aura did a really good combination play maybe at the start of every round, and they didn't really follow it throughout the remainder of it.
Yeah, I feel like they had the coordination to get more out of that game, but there were a lot of situations where they just didn't capitalize enough on their Uber advantages sometimes. Like, they had a whole situation where they could have just Ubered at Dowie in that final round, and they just weren't reading the gameplay properly. Maybe just, after a bunch of rounds on product, you'd just be ultra tired. So maybe just not feeling it and just misreading the situation, and as a result, they lost the game. And that's all it comes down to, really. At the end of the day. But as you mentioned, there are a lot of really good taking opportunities for the side of Global Clan, especially with that last Uber from Dowie, so well played to them. Anything else you want to mention?
The kills difference is actually quite, well, it's not that big, but it's, it's a fair amount. A 17, 19 kill advantage to Aura. I mean, if you look at their scout kills, I mean, if you sort them by kills, log by kills, it looks like Aura should have won. If I'd shown you those logs and not the scoreline, you would have probably said Aura won, maybe 3-1. I would honestly say. But when you reveal the scoreline and it goes the other way, kind of just sort of goes to show maybe everything isn't what it seems. There was quite a few mistakes when it was kind of in the post-Uber fights that just didn't go their way. And to be honest, I feel like it did really just come down to Charlie and Matt. There were a lot of occasions where they were able to kill Juxta in so many scenarios, which were quite critical.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of what you've just mentioned. I've got nothing else I could possibly add to that. So, looks like Global Clan EU after this official are going to be taking away 5 points because that's how Golden Cap works on cost product. If it goes to a 2-2, then it goes to Golden Cap basically.
Is that still in?
I think so.
I thought that was
yeah.
changed. Was it changed last season?
No, apparently it's still in. Yeah.
Who came up with that idea? I'm just going to use this platform to say whoever came up with that idea and whatever admin came up with the idea to split points on product, you're an idiot.
Adding to the rage that's fueled under ETF2L's feet. So I'm guessing we're going to throw out shouts. Any shouts you want to throw out there, War?
Shout out to the people that were not against me casting this, even though there probably wasn't anyone that was against me. Because it just also means that if I had said anything wrong or offended anyone, it would have been everybody's fault and not just one person. And wow, that's it. I'm done. I'm not casting anymore.
Fantastic. What's this? What am I looking at? Shout outs to clash.tf. Go check that out. Type it in your web browser. Go have a sneaky peek.
What is it?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, it's a DreamHack TF2 Community Clash North America and Europe of 2021. Oh, that looks great. Did you know that there's $2,400 in prize pool that's going to run from the 12th of June to the 20th of June in EU and from the 1st of May to the 9th of May in NA?
Wow, massive. Some actual money that can be won here if you play with Dream. So, also shout outs to Wiethoofd as well. Shout outs to you, the chat, for watching this evening. Shout outs to you, War, for coming back from the dead
Can
to
I
cast.
shout out my stream?
Yeah, of course you can.
Watch my stream, so I'm going to play Skyrim after this, and I'm going to try and make a vampire lady love me.
Oh, wow. Twitch.tv/WARHURYEAH, everybody. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in this evening, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace, guys.